Hey everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to be creating a Traveller's Notebook spread featuring the super cute Gabby Kit from Felicity Jane. I already have my 2 pages cut to size. I like to create my pages separately and then stick them into my Traveller's Notebook insert. That's just so that I can add stitching and things like that, which I couldn't do if it was inside the notebook. So I've chosen just some plain white Felicity Jane cardstock for my first page, and the second page I'm going to use this multicolored grid, which is on the reverse of that wood grain paper from the paper pack. I've already got lots of bits and pieces here, some of the chipboard bits and the die cut shapes from the kit. And I've also cut a tag shape from this polka dot paper. It's got the lines on the back, but I'm going to use the pink side, and that's going to have my photo on the center there. So I'll probably use the Shea metal tag dies just to cut a piece to go on the top there, probably just in white cardstock, and that'll be going onto that multicolored grid paper. I do have my journaling already printed, and when I'm printing my journaling onto cardstock, I like to use the Felicity Jane 6x6 paper. So I print it out using my printer first, then I just adhere a piece of the cardstock over the top with some washi tape and run it through my printer again, and then cut it out ready to use. So that's ready to go there. I do also have some other bits and pieces here. I've got the Megan Puffy Alphabet stickers. I really wanted a scripty font for my title, and this one is perfect. So I've got that there. I've also got the Essentials label stickers #1, so I'm thinking of using one of these under my title. I've also got the Tory puffy stickers from last month. I'm thinking of using a couple of these words on the page. What else have I got here? Oh yes, I've got these 2 strips of the multicolored stripe here, and that was on the reverse of this fun card that was included in the paper pack. So it's got this bold stripe on the back of it. So all I did was cut a strip off each end so that I still have this to use on another page. So I'm going to use those, I think, across the bottom of each of these pages. I also have a piece of the Scalloped Strip. This was on the paper pack packaging. I'll just give you a look at that. So this is the paper pack packaging. It has this strip along the bottom here, so I like to cut this up and use on my projects. So that's where I've got that little piece from, and I'm thinking of just adding that to the bottom of that tag just to give it a nice little decorative edge there. Okay, I think I'm ready to get started, so I'll pop you on fast forward and show you how I'm going to put this one together. Alright, so to start off with, I'm going to add those multicolored strips to the bottom of each of my pages, and when I stick these down I realised that my background pages are a little bit wider than those strips. The strips are 4 inches wide and my pages were originally cut a fraction wider than that, so I'm just going to trim off that excess on each side of those pages. So that's all good. I'm also going to just adhere my little reinforcer piece that I've cut from white cardstock to the top of that tag, and that will allow me to now grab my sewing machine and stitch around each of those pieces. So now that that tag is stitched, I'm going to add my photo to the center of that. So that's on there. I'm now reaching for a hole punch. I'm going to punch the center of that reinforcer piece out, or the piece of tag you can see through there, and that will allow me to add my twine to that hole. So I'm just going to thread that through, and that's now attached. Alright, so I can go ahead and add my tag to the page. So just centering that as best I can, and I'm also going to add that little scalloped piece to the very bottom of the tag, and I will add some stitching across that a little bit later. So to secure the twine at the top, I'm just wrapping that twine around the top of the page, adding a couple of staples, and that'll hold that in place, and just trim off that excess. And now I can go ahead and start adding some little bits and pieces to the side of that photo. So I've got that gingham tab, that curved arrow, I've got that chipboard piece that I'm just adding a puffy sticker to with the word remember. And now I can go ahead and add this to the page. And I love that this curved arrow points to that small little screen at the top right of the photo where you can see us talking to my parents there. So it just helps to bring attention to the fact that there is a little picture in the top corner there. So I've layered the chipboard label onto that tab, and that's just creating a little cluster on the side of that tag. So I'm going to leave that for now and start working on the first page. This is going to have my title and journaling. So I'm just placing things onto the page at the moment just to get some spacing right. And I'm working out which color I'd like to use to go underneath my title. And I've chosen the yellow. I love these Essentials label stickers. They were in the Catherine kit, but as you can see, there were so many in the pack. I'll be using these for ages, and they really do coordinate with most Felicity Jane kits, which is great. So I'm just placing those letter stickers across that label. Now I can peel that off, and I'm going to layer that together with that pink die cut label. So I do fiddle around a bit with these, just getting the positioning right. So I'm going to pick that up. The back of that label is nice and sticky, so I can just adhere them together and then stick them down onto the page. Alright, so now my journaling can also go onto the center of the page there. And of course I've got that other die cut label to go at the bottom. That's going to have the date on it very shortly. Alright, I'm going to add some stitching across each of those labels now and onto that journaling. So I've got a little die cut arrow just tucking into the side there. That's just adding a little bit more of that minty blue colour to this section as well. Another puffy word there that says hello. And I've also got a little heart that I'm going to just tuck underneath the top of the title there. So just adding a little bit more colour to the top of the page. Alright, so I'm going to now add my date, and I'm using Stays On ink onto this die cut label just so that there is no smudging, and that stamps up really well. Really happy with that. So just looking at what I want to do next, and this is where I add the Here's the Story piece, and that was from last month's Tory kit. So just adding another little die cut there, that flower to the side of the photo there, and I'll give you a closer look. You can see all the stitching there and that stamped date, and here you'll get a closer look at that little embellishment cluster on the side of the photo. So I'm really happy with how this has come together. Please let me know if you've got any questions about this one, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can see in these photos now I've added that spread into my traveler's notebook, and I'm really, really happy with it. Loving these colours. So thank you for joining me today. I'll be back again really soon with another project to share. Enjoy your day.